Well, hello, budget dolls. I'm Margot. Welcome to Budgets Untamed. Welcome, friends. Okay, so tonight I want to go through my cash plan and do a little bit of cash stuffing. And I just want to make sure that my bills were paid, that were supposed to be paid, and just stuff my cash envelope and get myself ready for the week. I've got some cash here. I had my things out just a little bit already, but I was able to, the first thing I want to do is work on my cash planning and expenses sheet that I use. I went through and I changed it up just a tiny bit. I added a few categories, took some away. So I just want to update that. Now, let me see here. We are in July. I have not done my cash plan for July yet. I'm sorry, my just simple planning for July yet. But I would like to do that because I have a new idea for my planners. And I'm going to go through that on a day when I have more time. I'm back to work off of the staycation, so I really don't have a lot of time. It was kind of like the staycation was so nice, and then everything was flowing. You know, the days were great. The humidity wasn't too bad. I went swimming a few times. I went to the beach. I had my birthday. I got beautiful gifts. And then went back to work and everything slowed down to a crawl again. It's amazing how that happens. Okay, so this is July 1. And I cash planned $1,500. Okay, so on my cash planning sheet, I have bills, I have my cash plan as well as my expenses plan, expenses being bills that you can't avoid. You have to pay them every month. So I put them on the same piece of paper. Under my cash plan down here, I added my most popular sinking funds, and then I didn't leave any room for anything new on this page, but I have another page that I did have room for anything new. So this piece of paper will always be changing, and I'm fine with that as long as I have the blueprint of it and I can go back and forth to it when I want to. So it's separated because, remember, I only get 2 pays. So the first paycheck is here, the 1st through the 15th, and the last paycheck is here, the 15th through the 30th. And then in the middle is the cash plan because it's the same for both checks. Okay? So I had budgeted, I took some things out over here. I took the dental out because I'm no longer doing that. I have my streaming, my AT&T. My AT&T was paid, $187 was paid on July 2. My taxes were definitely paid. Pretty much I just move the money over until it comes out of my account, but I do it every paycheck. Credit card 5, I paid $107, and that was the credit card that I moved over to the interest-free one. That was paid on 7/2. So I think my balance on there is very small. Credit card number 6 has not been paid yet. Okay, and then I did go down to Pepco and pay. Now, I had allotted for $100, but for some reason it doesn't like me to overpay what's left in there. So what was left in there is $86. So I ended up paying $87, and that was paid on 7/2 as well. Okay, so Washington Gas only had, I need to take that out because that balance isn't always correct. And no, I didn't even touch it, so I'm not going to touch that right now. And nothing else was paid there. Okay, so as far as my groceries is concerned, now let's just go through this because I want to replace this piece of paper with this one. And I think for cash, I am going to use my pencil. So for groceries, I should have had 8 20s, 1 10 and 1 5. For eats and drinks, 150. For low, I was budgeting 15. So I'm going to change that to a 15. And that was, of course, a 10 and a 5. And then for giving, I gave it nothing. I don't think I gave it anything. For tags and registration, it was 0. The buffer, I allotted 15 for the buffer. So that would be a 10 and a 5. Merry Christmas, 5. Harvest is 0. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. We'll see. That's why I'm writing in pencil. July was definitely 0 because that's past. Black Friday, $10. And that was more than likely a $10 bill. And then I had my snowball, which was 200, which I didn't pull that money out yet. And my savings challenges, I haven't pulled the money out yet. So that's okay. All right. So I'm going to replace this with this one. And I've actually made myself another one for the next paycheck. I like this one a lot better because my categories are up to date. Okay, good so far. All right, so from there, let's do a cash count. And then we're going to see what I had left from last week, which I don't think is much. I don't have a cash tray because I was using it for something else. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 55, 60, 65, and 70. And that is correct. Now, it probably was 280. I used $10 for something when I was at work. I bought some produce or something when I was at work. So that is going to be okay. Now, what I had left over from last pay was a bit, just a little bit, but 15, 17, 19, 20, 22 cents. But I know for a fact that I had more than that. But what happened was, it kind of rolled into my staycation. My staycation came up so fast that I didn't have a chance to move my money over, so I used some of it. I used some of it during the spa day that I had for my birthday for tips and things like that. So I was just happy to have that cash left in my wallet for that. I was happy for that. And I'm definitely going to plan for that for next year or plan for another one soon. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we've already counted it up. So now for groceries, it's normally $175. I'm going to give myself, let me see how much we have here. Okay, so for groceries, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 160, 170, and 5. I'm leaving that in there. Why did I do that? I'm sorry. This goes here. I'm leaving this here. Okay, I left that 10 in there because I've spent it already. So this goes to my grocery fund. Yay! I just love when my cash wallet is filled. Okay, so from there, we're going to do eats and drinks, and I'm so glad to have my $50 bill back. I was way off the chain last time. When I didn't have my $50 bill, I had 2 20s and a 10, and I think I spent that $20 bill so fast on the very first day. And I normally never do that. Never, ever. Okay, and then that's it from me. And then for Lo, I'm going to give him $15. Okay, so for Lo, I'm going to give him 15. 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 20, 30, 5, 45, and 50. 250. Really, really good. Now, his birthday is coming up in a week or so, so I'm going to be ready. Okay, so that was low. And then giving, nothing. Tags and registration, nothing. Buffer, 15. Let me leave that out because I'm going to use it again. So in my buffer, I think on my cash plan, I made a mistake because I took my money and put it in here, and I noticed that, but it doesn't belong in there. So, okay, I know where it goes. My buffer, I'm giving it $15. So it's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 5. And that buff is for my personal checking account. Okay, and then Merry Christmas. Let's go back, you guys. Merry Christmas, I'm going to give it $5. Let's see where we are. I always pull that out every single time. You know what? Let me do something, because this, it's not so irritating, but it isn't necessary right now. Okay, so I said I'm going to give Merry Christmas 5. All right, so I have 10, 20, 35, 45, 55, and 60. Very good. Speaking of a 5, wait, hold that thought. Speaking of a 5, Harvest 0, July 0, Black Friday, I'm giving $10. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 5. Wait a minute, Margeaux. Black Friday, 10. What are you doing? I'm making a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake. You see that? I think I did that the last time, but I caught it. Okay, so we're going to add $10 to Black Friday. 10, 20, 30, 45, 55, and 60. I got sidetracked when I was thinking about that $5 bill. That's what that was. Okay, and the snowball is $200, and I'm not going to worry about it. Now, where was I going to put that 10? That 10 goes back to the bank because I spent it already. The 10 goes back to the bank. Yeah. And I'm not going to the bank anytime soon for $10. So I'm just going to hold on to it. I always say that, don't I? And then forget what I'm holding it for. I'm terrible. But at least I know that about myself. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a note back to bank, and then I'm just going to accumulate it. I got a lot to take back to the bank. So what I want to do with this back to the bank is I want to do a video for my cash unstuffing. And I will. But that cash unstuffing is kind of, it's kind of like a big deal to me because I want to get it right the first time. So I've just been procrastinating, that's all. And I actually put $60 in my gas tank already, and I allotted for gas. I allotted for, wait a minute, where's my paper? I missed that. I put $50 in there, and I spent $60. So I'm gonna add the $10. Ding, ding, ding. I don't even know why I put 50. I know I spend more than that. Why was I tripping with the 50? Okay, so I'm going to put that back in the bank for the gas. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. You see how that works out? Okay, so I filled up my tank, and it was about $60. Okay, yeah, I don't, normally I do 80, so I don't know why I did 50 that time. Okay, so that is all done. And I just treat 50 like it's one of, or I'm sorry, I just treat gas like it's one of my bills because I don't like to, I use my debit card for that. Okay, there was one more thing I wanted to talk to you about really quickly before we end, and that is I found a star note and I wanted to take a look at it. See that star? Right there. Right on the end of the serial number. Yeah, I'm so glad I was paying attention. Okay, so what we could do is go through here really quickly and count up what we have in star notes. I like to count it every time I get one because I don't get a star note often. I even have a $50 bill. I remember this day. It hurt me bad when I had to take this out of my bill money. Okay, there's 50, 70, 90, 110, 130. 140, 150, 160. 65, 75, 80. $182. $182 so far. $184. Yep, $184. So I'm going to hold on to these until I have a moment to go online to see if they're worth anything. And then if not, I'm going to put them back in the bank. Maybe I'll get them again. And before I go, I just wanted to say that my Etsy shop has been updated with a lot of my new items in it. I've added it to it. One being the Eternity Collection games, one being some binders, and I also have some savings trackers in there. So take a moment to go check out my page and see if there's anything that you like. I will be doing changing my binders over in a very future upcoming video. So stay tuned for that. And we'll talk soon, dolls. Bye-bye.